Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weaverbirds TV with me, Karen Weaver, and
Emma Weaver.
I also have to do my hands the other side that I'm used to. And huge apologies about me sitting in the shadows today. My magic light is out in my outdoor office. It's 5 a.m. I ain't going out for it.
We'll tell you, it's 10 o'clock at night here and it is still totally bright outside. You know what I mean? Proper bright.
And that's one of the most bizarre things, Emma, whenever we moved to Australia, because the daylight is shorter. We moved here in September, and like it was dark before 6 p.m. And really, yeah. And so it was a real shock to the system for us. Although now it's bright, it's beautiful and sunny and whatever, but and you would expect it, the way in Canada, like there's some places that it's 24-hour sunshine, different
Yeah.
parts of the world. But even in the summer, we would never be bright at like 10:30 at night. Isn't it
Oh no, it's
amazing?
proper bright here. It's
Yeah.
not sun, it's cloudy, but it's definitely proper bright. So it's
All
lovely.
right, we're not here to talk about the weather, sis. So we're here to talk about week 5 of the Alchemy of Life Magic series, and it is love. And what an amazing theme for this week, because our brother got married and it was all
Yay!
about love.
Congratulations, Matthew and Ada.
Congratulations. It's always gorgeous to watch that happen. And even though I was the other side of the world, I didn't miss out totally, because the Zoom is a wonderful thing. What would we do without Zoom?
I know. But wasn't it amazing even just to know that you and Chloe were sitting and all of Ada's family were sitting able to watch it live as it was happening? I thought that was really good.
And we felt the emotion of it because, Matthew got choked up and we were all there wiping away our tears on Zoom. We could see head on everything that was happening. Oh, it was the most beautiful thing.
And you know what? It was a lovely day, lovely, relaxed, and it was all about love. You could that simply was what it was all about, and it was lovely and intimate and personal and centered all around themselves. And even Ada's wedding outfit is all elements from her family, and they all mean something, and it's made with love, and it's it's all those things. So it was lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? To do this in the middle of, the environment that we've got right now, and it was just so special. So
Yeah.
amazing and beautiful. And yeah, another person to our family. So huge welcome, and yeah, gorgeous. And even the weather came out, the blue skies, everything. It was like,
It was
holy
absolutely
moly.
gorgeous, and we all headed up to Jonathan's, because he is that whole outside area and everything. It, honestly, goodness, was just perfect. They done a great job and kept it, intimate and close and tight and just lovely. It really worked very, very well.
And we're here to talk about the law of love today. And do you know what? That's kind of like an example of how you send love ahead into a scenario and it turns out perfect. Like, you
Yes.
can't predict it. You just have to have faith in it, that everything will come together. All of everything you're organizing, everything you're doing, but you're doing everything with loving intention. And then it just all comes together. It's one
Oh,
it's one of those
100%.
things.
Do you not think people don't rate it enough in terms of that? So, I would often have had conversations over the years with different people and different things. And, people do talk about what does love mean to you? How do you know it's love? All that there. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. So if you're setting love in intentions or sending love ahead, as you say, it's the energy and the feeling that you give around that is what makes the difference. So whether you're giving it or receiving it, it's a feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, absolutely. It's all energy, and my views on love is like love is always connected with romance and all of that kind of things, in many people's minds. But love is so much more than that. Love is an energy that fuels when you pump it into things. It's like a super fuel, and it makes things happen at the highest potential in the highest speed possible. Um, and like for example, in people, how I achieve things in life, because for me, whenever I realized that the law of attraction used to be called the law of love, that blew my mind and it
Yeah,
changed my perspective. And although I put loving intention into everything before I knew that, I put so much more loving intention into everything that I pursued when I knew that. And it just clicked something in my brain. So why would you not? It again, it's a choice. So love is a positive vibration. So you're
yeah,
choosing that, because you can't have love and hate together because they're
no,
opposites. You can have one or the other. So why not choose love and pump that into everything that you're doing? Because that energy is very powerful. It's just underrated, and
yeah.
people need to, I was saying people need to learn how to know how to know.
That's right. People need to learn how
People
to
just need
love.
to, but it takes courage to be live a life through an open heart. And you can see the people in life that live through an open heart. Like one person's here, Peace Mitchell. She's here watching. Hey, Peace, we love
Hey,
you.
peace.
But Peace lives with an open heart, unapologetically, and as do I, as do you. And that's the thing, is that when you live with an open heart, yes, you may get hurt sometimes. Yes, but you're living and you're leading by example, and
Yeah.
you're showing everyone how to do it. I'm just going to share Peace's comment here. Do you want to
Choose
read it
love and
out?
put that into whatever you do. Very good.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely. Choose love and put that
And like
energy. I'm going to put that on
love
a
can
book.
leave you vulnerable, and I don't necessarily even mean in the romantic sense. I just mean love. It's so beautiful. It's so heartfelt. It's so authentic in whatever you show up to do when you're doing it with love. It's vulnerable to be in that situation as well, and I think that's okay. Just embrace it, and that can be as broad a term as you want it to be. But I mean,
Hmm.
as you said, there's potential there for other things. But if you just do it with love and just own it and own yourself and know you're knowing, I think it'll all work out.
Yeah. Do you know, I look at it in this term, Emma, that you can live in the micro moments and just live in fear, live it day by day and live by fear. But if you look at a whole picture, I would rather choose to live a life vulnerable and courageous and live it through an open heart and get hurt sometimes.
Yeah,
But you're going to feel so alive, you
yeah,
know? And when you come through it, your heart's, if you're going to shield your heart, you're not going to feel the amazing energy of life that life
that's right.
has to give you. So I would rather. I look at it on the whole picture. As much as I live in the now, I still think of the whole picture. I would choose to live a life with loving energy rather than protecting my heart for a
Yeah,
lifetime and not do it. And that's in the term of not just, in a romantic sense or in a, friendship sense, or that's in everything, in the attentions that I set, the way whenever you've got love, especially for your children, your heart could burst. Like that's divine love. That's how you find that, that source. Whenever you love something so much, your heart just pulsates. That's loving energy.
yeah,
So whenever you learn how to connect to that divine source and channel it into things that you want to achieve, into the successes, which you should rightly do, because these are important things in your life. They make up your story. So when you learn to connect, and that's why, remember I did that meditation, and it's on my website if anybody wants to get it. It's the connecting with love meditation, where you just sit and you just learn how to just connect with that energy source, and then you're able to access it when you want to.
yeah.
So you can fuel it into anything that you want. I could just love is just it's so
But there's
underrated.
so many, like, and the reason why it's so interesting is because there's so many aspects to it and levels to it. So I mean, the love that you have for your children, like I mean, is the, as you said, divine love, and it's
Mhm.
then different to the love that you'd have in a relationship. It's also then different to the love that you would have maybe for friendships, And then again, so different for the love that you have for your siblings. And yet, and all, we talk about this a lot, the greatest love that people need to have is the love for themselves. And again, I know we brought this up before, and I had actually forgotten that we were, or maybe subconsciously I did know, but one of my Mental Wealth International posts that I put out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, but it was probably because I was thinking about the wedding and love and things like that as well, is, you need to love yourself before you can truly love another, because it doesn't work. Because if you don't love yourself, and I don't mean be vain or anything like that there, but if you don't truly go within and love yourself, you can't truly love another person, because you're looking for a need to be met.
Yes, you're leaning
So,
outside.
yeah. So if
Wanting to
you
be
truly do
fulfilled.
the work on yourself and love yourself enough, if it is that you're looking, for, I don't know, if you're looking for a partner, or the friendship and things like that, they need to be in an equal stance, because it needs to be a two-way thing, and not like codependent where you're attaching yourself for something. You need to love yourself first.
See, it's all with the mental, wealth as well, whenever you learn. And again, that's a quest within that takes courage,
Yeah.
because, there's it's kind of like loving yourself, warts and all, because, as we talk about, imperfectly perfect. It's about
Yay!
accepting that, and just doing that, just going with what you have and growing it. Because remember, we're not made perfect. Well, we are born perfect, of course, but we're always a work in progress. We're always supposed to evolve. That's the whole point in life, to be forever evolving, forever growing, forever learning, to be the best version of
Yeah.
ourselves, aspiring to that. And self-love, well, we talk about it all the time, don't we, Emma?
Yeah.
Pouring into yourself first, before, so that your cup is overflowing to pour into others. And that's why.
It doesn't work unless you do. It just simply doesn't. And you know what I find sometimes as well? And it was from reading the book The Four Agreements, and it really resonated. Or no, it was the Universal Laws book, actually. um it was one of the greatest acts of love, I feel, is the act of forgiveness. And I mean forgive yourself as well as forgiving others, because it's so freeing. And I would associate that as well. It's a very hard thing to do, but once you understand it, I think it all kind of ties together.
Absolutely. You can't move forward if you're being pulled backwards. And like next week is going to be a tough conversation week, but we'll try and make it a bit love fueled, because it's the week of forgiveness, and it's week 22 as well. Holy moly! But yeah, so please show up and help us with the forgiveness week, guys. We're going to need it, because and we'll have to pump a lot of love into it, because forgiveness is a tough one,
Yeah.
because that is where you've got a heart wide open. And then you've got all of maybe you've got values mixed in there, and you've got there's lots of things whenever so what if you put love ahead into things like forgiveness and things like that, you always find out that the solution is, but quite often it's emotion fueled or head fueled whenever it comes to
Yeah.
forgiveness, and people find it
But
hard. But
you're very clever, even in the order of your books, if you think about it, because I honestly didn't realize forgiveness was next week, and yet love just automatically flowed into forgiveness for me. And now you're after saying, well, forgiveness is next week's book. So the series of these books is actually aligned so perfectly, one into the other, because one triggers. I think we done that one other week as well. We're talking about
yeah,
something, and something come up, and you were like, yes, that's the next book. And I was like, oh, that's
it's crazy,
clever.
isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. But I want to share with you a scenario. I can't give away the details because it's a bit confidential at the moment. But I need to share the scenario of how to put loving intention into something that you want to achieve, because it's really important to just understand for you, and I hope this resonates with you, how to really make something happen on a law of attraction kind of this. So when you do something with love, it's kind of like gratitude is fueled with love.
Yeah.
So love is even higher than gratitude, because love is the divine energy of all. It's the energy that rules everything. So when you do something with loving intention, and I set an intention that a big intention about books, and because, you know, I adore books and words, the power of words, and I want to reach more people. So I set a huge intention not that long ago.
As you do,
And
as you do.
yeah, and I fueled it with love, but I also kept my mind open. Inspired thought came, acted on it, just sat back and distracted myself with the other million things I have on my tick box list and let it come to fruition. It came to fruition. I had a really big call last week, and then I just let it all happen in motion. And then yesterday got the best email of my life, and it was like, wow, there we are. And that is just showing up authentically, genuinely, and it just all comes to you. So if you're watching this and you have a big, huge, humongous goal, it's the same energy you put into the big, huge, humongous goal as it is into a little small thing that you want to achieve. It's all the same energy, and you'll get the bigger results because if you put it into it, it's very powerful. So please just learn to trust and learn to harness that energy. And if you have trouble harnessing it, there's a book that I was reading because I've been writing the law of love. So I've been in loving energy recently. And whenever I'm writing all these books, like when I'm in the intention energy, when I'm in the knowing energy, all of these things kind of happen. So I've been in loving energy. Oh my goodness. It's just like I'm walking around it's just like this big, this energy field. And so now, because I've been writing those things, extra things have been happening in the law of love. But I wanted to share with you just a few of because of the meditation. I was also reading A Return to Love by Marianne Williams. And
Oh,
it's the book is called A Return to Love, and it's where she talks about A Course in Miracles. Have you ever heard about A Course in Miracles? It's a very thick book. It's like that thick. But Marianne Williams has read the book and then has wrote her own book called A Return to Love that's based on A Course in Miracles. So it's a book that, especially if you need to forgive, it's a book that you need to read, as absolutely, if you want to need to move on. But in this book, which is my Conquer Kit,
yay.
these seven affirmations are: I am a decisive person. I follow through and support myself with love. So if you're wanting to tap into loving energy, you can use one of these and just keep affirming it to yourself, and it will help rewire your brain to allow you to harness the loving energy you have within. I know that I will learn to love myself first, and then I can love others better. That's what we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I must give myself the best in order to be my best for others. I pursue my goals with loving intention. That's that one. You know the one I pursue my goals with loving intention. When I live through love, everyone benefits.
Yes.
I know that love is the highest power of all. Just know that. Love, even on a scientific level. Now, this is fascinating. On a scientific level, like even in a lab, recently I watched, I read an article about it. I can't remember. I'll try and find it, but where they done this experiment on love, right? Where they had all these petri dishes with all of these seeds in, and the people put love into these seeds, loving energy directed it into these seeds. And then there was these other seeds that were in a different part or wherever they were, and they were just left to grow, but also given, the sunlight and things, the things that they needed. What is it? Photosynthesis, whatever it is, anyway, to grow. They were given what they needed to grow. But these ones were given the extra love, this loving energy. People would sit and put loving energy into these seeds. And what do you think happened? These flourished. The
Yeah.
other ones grew. They grew exactly like they should have done in the science books, all of this. But the ones that were given loving energy flourished, you know. You can see it if somebody has a garden full of flowers. Like that's absolutely, they're putting love into nature, and it's rewarding them with this beauty.
Yes.
So if you look at it like that's energy, and you can see the results there. But quite often you can't see the results, but you can feel them. And so it's so powerful. And the last one of this is: I feel love in every essence of my being.
Yeah.
Like just the simple, I feel love in every essence of my being. And then that's what the person that you can share with the world. And why would you not?
That's amazing. I
Sorry,
know.
guys. Got you all loved up.
I know, but it's to understand. It's not just a word. It's not even necessarily a relationship status. I mean, it's so much more. It's like we come from heart centered leadership and heart centered in things that we do, and like the books that you write, and certainly the books that you publish, and it's all heart centered. It's that feeling, it comes from love. And I think, say when you just have good intentions and you're sending love ahead and there's love behind it, like truly,
Yeah.
if you're coming from that place, things usually work out.
Oh, absolutely. And again, and I don't mean to keep talking about this, but it was so monumental in my past few months. Like when I went to join Peace and Katie in the Osmond retreat, like that, every single thing that we experienced was fueled through love. All of the women that came together
Yeah,
were filled with love. Peace and Katie, who hosted it, were just give us all so much love and kindness. It was just it could just be felt on a huge vibrational level, um, and that's what I'm talking about is that experience
yeah,
of others whenever you show up with love. And it is like it was a trust circle. We were open. We didn't have to be cautious about what we were going to say. We could just show up and say, and be ourselves, and knew that we was in a safe space. So just just try
and
to
that doesn't happen all the time, Karen,
no.
where you feel that love or that energy or the safety and the trust there. That is powerful, powerful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pieces was such a beautiful event. It's just one that's just in the memory bank. It's tattooed in
Yeah,
our brains now. You'll always refer back to it as that
yeah,
event because it was the perfect scenario, the perfect location, the perfect people coming together. It was just that perfect recipe. But but we didn't need that much courage to show up there. We just needed to commit to it and do it and
yeah,
do it because we answered the call to be there. But I want everyone to show up in life with you just need the courage because yes, so you're going to meet brick walls. Maybe somebody's not feeling that loving today and you're going to
yeah,
get resistance or something. But just know that when you share your love out, even if you do not get the immediate reaction, that love has penetrated into that
yeah,
person and it's going to shift with something within them that day, that week, that year, even in the next moment. Have you ever reacted to something and then not had the opportunity to, detract and you react in a different way? If we all, hindsight in that way is a wonderful thing. We can never
yeah,
know the effect that the love that we put out is having on others. So it's just to be mindful, just to put it out anyway without
yeah,
any
totally.
expectation of return. Mm,
Yeah, but, you may never know, and that's okay. You just have to trust that it does.
yeah, yeah,
And like, how
absolutely.
could it not? How could it not? To be fair, if you think about it, so even if that, the situation doesn't look like it changed because of the love and intention, you have to trust it did. You just have to know it did. Of
Absolutely.
course, it did.
Yeah, Peace is saying here, take me back. And absolutely.
Take
It's
me
like
with
4 days
you
wasn't enough.
too.
Hey, Peace, we'll do a pact when we get Emma to Australia. We'll bring her to Mission Beach, okay?
Oh
We do like a
gosh.
sisters retreat or something. Bring our girls.
Oh my
Really
goodness.
amazing. Yeah,
That's lovely.
amazing. Well, that place is the energy porthole of the world, so of Australia, so that's why it was so powerful as well. The whole circumstance,
Oh, sure. When you were sending
everything.
me the videos and and pictures, and I was following you online and things like that, there, you could feel it, and we weren't even there, but you knew there was this energy that, it's like a shift, or I can't explain it.
It was bizarre. It was the most, yeah, it was everything. It was, the way you go serendipity, everything was aligned. Like even for me personally, it was week 22. 22 is my number that navigates me in life. It's just that, and it was week 22. I didn't realize until I got there that it was week 22. It was a lunar eclipse that wasn't even planned. It was just amazing. So that's what I'm saying is you just put something out there with loving
Yeah.
intent and it all just comes together. So but yes, can we just ask anyone who's watching this video, set a task to just do one one act with absolute loving intention this week, and wait till you see the results. Make a note of it in your journal, and then whenever you see it come to fruition, go, oh my goodness, there
That's
we
it.
are. Yeah, and it will happen so much faster. So I
Very
challenge you
good.
guys. I challenge you to do that. If you need to access it, go and check out my meditation. It'll help you get there.
Lovely.
See? Lovely.
Okay. Oh no, and I didn't even mean that. Honest to goodness.
Oh,
I just thought it was better
oh,
to go when that's class.
it is, yeah. Well, that's the thing. And sometimes it's, you have to do it mindfully. That's why mindfulness is the first of the principles, because
Yeah.
you have to do things mindfully first. You have to be mindful of it. And then, yeah, it's so fun. Okay, guys. We have a loving week. Have a loving week, and we will see you next week for, yes, forgiveness. But you know what? Forgiveness is always a powerful conversation. So
Yes.
come to us raw. Come to us with your stories, and let's have a conversation that is impactful and will shift things. So yeah, be insightful to others. So sis, love you.
I love you too.
Bye everyone.
Bye.